Hi everyone, welcome to Nice Cycling 6, and again, this episode is full of clips from just the one viewer. The early timing of this pullover shows the awareness of this road user. There were no sirens, but the blues are definitely showing. Nice work. When motorists emerge when they don't see you at roundabouts, it can be pretty dangerous, but this cyclist, my viewer, sorts this out easily without any drama. They do this by adjusting speed so they're never going to be arriving at the same point at the same time. That was pretty close that, but on this next roundabout I think my viewer emerges a little early. This could have been misleading for this driver of the Audi. In the end though, they sorted out nicely, hold back and took it in behind. Riding out in primary in this scenario effectively says to the vehicles following behind, don't overtake, and this is because of all the potholes. As soon as they're finished, back to secondary, which effectively means I'm happy for you to come past. This is a good decision not to filter, although the scooter rider thinks differently. If I was driving a motor vehicle, I would do exactly the same here. I'd leave this junction clear and allow other vehicles to flow. But I don't see this very often from cyclists. Watch the rear observations down on the left in the shadow. Nice bit of riding that, well done. Setting the correct example is the best way to change perception. I particularly like the care taken when negotiating this shared path. It's a busy one this, and the pedestrians are the more vulnerable. Look after them. Notice how none of the pedestrians gave strange looks or had to move quickly out of the way. Again, another nice piece of riding. And we haven't finished yet. We then get a lovely give way when the car had nowhere else to go and was already committed. The faster you go, the further you have to anticipate. I think my viewer could have done a couple of things better in this clip, which I'll point out, but this is a great example of changing speed to suit risk. We've already seen it a couple of times, but my viewer does well just to hold back a little, let the red car past. But they needed to be a little wider from that parked vehicle. But this is also something that I can be guilty of. When you see inside that car and there's no one in it, sometimes I go a little closer than I probably should do also. I would have been tempted to hold back and wait in this scenario, but my viewer still negotiated this problem safely, although they were close. But again, we've got another parked vehicle up ahead, and again I think my viewer just could do with giving them a little more space. Maybe hold back, pop it in behind the van, and then come back to the left hand side. My viewer adjusts nicely so they get a good view and make sure the crossing's clear. They also ride at a sensible speed whilst maximising the space from the biggest danger, which is what can't be seen in between the vehicles. A nice slow down to accommodate the risk of the junction. Although they were a little close to it, it doesn't matter if you can see that no one's coming out. Then to bring the clip to a finish, there's some nice perception of danger with the pedestrian crossing, even though the cyclist had priority. Pretty good work all round there. In this clip, I think my viewer makes a good decision to filter down the left hand side. The traffic is stationary and we've got a solid wall to our left, so it's really unlikely that people are going to be stepping out. But it's what my viewer does now when the traffic starts moving, which I'm most impressed with. They ensure that there's going to be no danger of anyone left hooking them before they continue past. More cyclists need to take a leaf out of this book whilst riding. Sometimes giving up your priority is the safest option for yourself. My viewer quickly realised there that there was a doubt that they'd been seen. Motorists will always left hook you. The new rules about cyclists having priority when wishing to proceed ahead aren't very well known, and people don't look, but refreshingly, my viewer knows exactly what to do. It's not difficult, just hold back. It still amazes me sometimes that these nice riding or driving episodes are full of things that you should be doing anyway. But I feel compelled to use them and include them because they're commonly not. A lovely non-event clip. This time it's worth going round the bus, but there's a junction just after. It's not a problem for my viewer. Remember the shared space clip from earlier? Well, this is it from the opposite direction, but with the same sort of results. What would you do in this scenario? Look at the van with the door open. Have you spotted the feet yet? And to finish, my viewer sees this line bike parked right in the middle of the pavement. So they stop and move it. Keep safe everyone, I hope to see you soon.